Title: The Descent. In the forgotten town of Glenridge, nestled beneath the sprawling shadows of towering pines, the annual Glenridge Festival of Characters was a celebrated tradition. Children from nearby towns flocked to the festival, enchanted by the lively costumes, vibrant parades, and the whimsical characters brought to life by local performers. But this year was different. This year, the festival seemed to be haunted by the spirits of long-lost characters and missing mascots, slowly escalating from whimsical to horrifying. As the festival commenced, Angela, a bright-eyed 8-year-old, was most excited to see her favorite cartoon character, Lenny the Laughing Lion. Curious little hands gripped the ticket, tiny fingers tracing the vibrant patterns. 5 days before, she had overheard her older brother discussing the mysterious disappearances of several beloved mascots over the years. Rumors had whispered through Glenridge about characters thought to have vanished without a trace: Lenny, Polly the polka-dotted penguin, and Fred the fiddling fox. Whether fictional or real, the tales added a layer of intrigue that filled the air with tension. On the day of the festival, a thick fog rolled in from the mountains, wrapping the town in an eerie silence. Angela's mother, guiding her through the marketplace lined with stalls selling cotton candy and colorful trinkets, noticed an odd spectacle. At the heart of the festival grounds stood a towering figure draped in shadows, a life-sized, dormant Lenny. The enormous lion's eyes seemed almost lifelike, hauntingly glimmering as heads turned toward the stage. Despite the unsettling aura that loomed, Angela was captivated. As dusk settled, a strange energy began to pulse around the festival. Lenny's eyes flickered with life and a warped grin stretched across his painted features. Suddenly, the lights flickered and dimmed, casting odd shadows onto the crowd. The cheerful music that had filled the air abruptly cut off, leaving an oppressive silence. Murmurs buzzed as children clutched their parents, confusion blending with excitement. Creatures began to emerge from the fog, dilapidated forms of mascots and characters that once inspired joy, now grotesque mockeries of themselves. Polly the polka-dotted penguin waddled through the haze, her beak twisted into a rictus of rage, feathers stained dark with sedition. Fred the fiddling fox slinked in behind her, his once cheery fiddle replaced by jagged claws dripping with a viscous fluid. The crowd gasped, panic rising among parents desperately clutching their children. Angela felt the tremors beneath her feet as the characters advanced, twisting into terrifying forms that echoed their original shapes but radiated malevolence. Lenny, towering and monstrous, stepped forward, his growl resonating in a deep rumble that sent shivers through the chilled air. "Come play with us, little girl." "Mommy, Daddy," Angela screamed, clutching her mother's hand tightly. But her words were swallowed by the chaos that erupted. The crowd surged, trying to escape, but the exit seemed to vanish as the fog thickened, blindingly suffocating. The mascots didn't need to chase them. Fear did the work. The laughter-soaked air was gunpowder waiting for a spark. Angela, in a desperate bid, pulled her mother toward a nearby booth, sinking behind a vendor's cart as Lenny loomed over the chaos like a nightmare made real. From her hiding place, she watched horrified as the fuzzy, costumed friends turned on festival goers. With every cheerful memory they invoked vanished, leaving only rage and the enticing prospect of more terror. Polly pecked at unattended candy bags, her hate-fueled frenzy erupting as she targeted those who had planned to come for joy. Amidst the screams, Angela recalled the stories, the whispers of the missing characters that needed to be brought back. They were angry, trapped in the liminal space between joy and despair. She narrowed her eyes upon an abandoned stage in the corner. It held a shrine built in homage to the characters, adorned with photos of all the vanished, each one a history of laughter. She understood now. These missing mascots were left behind, perhaps in some forgotten realm where joy turned to sorrow. "Lenny, Polly, Fred, you don't have to do this," Angela spoke, her small voice cutting through the chaos, eliciting curious glances. "Who brings a child to a festival filled with monsters?" Lenny growled, looming nearer, his form shifting between the familiar and grotesque. "I know you. You were once fun, once loved." She stepped from her hiding place. "We can remember you. Let's bring back the joy." At that moment, she could sense the residual rage ebbing into doubt. The laughter that had filled the air was a memory worth sharing. A flicker of recognition in Lenny's eyes opened a crack in the chaos, the terrible nightmare paused. As light shimmered through the fog, Angela stood firm. "Remember us for the joy we shared. You can come back. Just, please stop." That shimmering memory sparked, and the monstrous figures trembled, hesitating. It was a thread holding them together, a whispered promise to return to laughter. One by one, from swirling shadows, the mascots began to melt back into fragments of their lost essence, restoring lost identities for once more joyous laughter to echo. The chaos diminished as suddenly as it arose, leaving only silence and the slow re-emergence of the town. Just as quickly as it had begun, the festival returned to life. The missing disappeared once more, whispers of thanks carried on the breeze, a promise to never forget. Angela grasped her mother's hand tightly, breathing in the cool air, sad smiles illuminating the darkened corners of her heart. The fog then lifted with the last light of day, carrying the bittersweet remembrance, a reminder that even the happiest memories could blacken if left unattended. But now, they were no longer missing. They danced on the fringes of memory, waiting to be called back into the sunlit joy once more.